Hello everyone. Hello everyone from London. My name is Katharina Archer. The intention of the conversation with Catherine is to really discover how the leadership of 2020 looks like and inspire you guys to start a conversation about the new leadership style. I would like to know, is there any other aspects of being emotional intelligence leader?
Yes, there are. So outside of self-perception, which, by the way, I like to think of as your emotional, your psychological six-pack.
I love that psychological six pack.
There are four other aspects. Um, the first is the ability to be an effective communicator. Really, very important. Not just words, so not just verbal communication, but also non-verbal communication. To be assertive, um, but do no harm. So to put your point of view across, but not harm anyone, not hurt anybody's feelings along the way. But also, and possibly one of the most important, I think, is this sense of being independent from emotional dependency. So the ability to take on board what other people feel, but actually and think, but ultimately to be able to stand alone and make your own decision. And I think this idea, particularly in a world which is being disrupted, this ability to stand alone and to have moral courage is incredibly important for 2020 leadership. Beyond that, we've talked about the importance of relationships, the importance of building trust, the importance of being helpful to other people, not just within your team, but also within your business, within your industry, and to have empathy. Now, this is something that a lot of people talk about in regard to emotional intelligence. And unfortunately, emotional intelligence perhaps has got a bit of a bad rap because people just equate emotional intelligence with this one single trait of empathy. Empathy is very, very important, particularly in regard to the strategic intent of a lot of businesses now, which is to be to understand their customers and deliver to their customers' needs. In order to do that, you need to be able to walk in the shoes of the customer. So that's really important. But there's another customer. There's your internal customer, your internal stakeholders. And again, the ability to intentionally pause and think about what is it like to be in my team members' shoes? What is it like to walk in the shoes of my chief executive? What is it like to walk in the shoes of that person over there in a different department from me, doing very different things with different pressures on them? All of these things are, you really need time to think about these things. Decision making, probably one of my favorite subjects, actually. Very important part of being an emotionally intelligent leader. Why? Because leaders are required now and in the future to be making decisions where they won't have all of the information. Whereas in the past, we could perhaps lean into our experience, but now we don't quite know. We don't quite know what the future holds. So solving problems where emotions are involved is a really important part of decision making. Impulse control, the ability to hold back from making rash decisions, moving forward too fast without necessarily having all of the information in place and all the opinions of other people from not just your own department, but from other departments. And then the final piece of the puzzle in terms of emotional intelligence is the ability to manage stress. Incredibly important, and probably one of the single most important attribute that I see in the work that I do with leadership teams that really distinguishes them from, in terms of the ability to manage change, is flexibility. Now, other people talk about agile, the ability to flex and change your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors to suit a very, very, very different, complex situations that we're all walking into, with a very different competitive set, for example, very different economic pressures, very different and challenging political situations that are arising in the world, very challenging environmental predicaments.
Catherine, thank you so much for your time being here with me in London. And thank you also for everyone who watched us. We would love you to like our video if it was any value to you. And also, we would love you to share it with others to inspire the leaders. Thank you so much again. And we are looking forward to see you in one of our next videos.